Folks, hello again. The old text message. Just a few words that can be turned around and weaponised against the author. The equivalent of shooting oneself in the foot. In the past few months, it's claimed different scalps across different fields, including former Australian cricket captain Tim Paine. And in the past week, it has consumed Australian politics. First, and we'll back things up here, Channel 10 claimed to have evidence of a text message sent 2 years ago in which a cabinet minister referred to the Prime Minister as a complete psycho. It set off an almighty whodunit. Former Labor Foreign Minister Bob Carr threw in a grenade, alleging the culprit, without evidence, to be Defence Minister Peter Dutton, which Dutton denied.
Well, Bob Carr was a waste of space as a foreign minister, and now he suffers from a bad bout of relevance deprivation syndrome. You know, when he was in Parliament, he was described by his own colleagues as a narcissist, as self-indulgent. We've seen that again today because in putting out this text without any evidence, Peter Dutton has utterly rejected it and said it was baseless and has asked for it to be pulled down.
So that's Josh Frydenberg speaking on behalf of Peter Dutton. The second text involved Morrison's deputy, Barnaby Joyce. He called the Prime Minister a liar and a hypocrite. Caught red-handed, Joyce owned up.
I apologised. He accepted my apology. I offered my resignation, and he did not accept my resignation.
Hey, it ain't policy, but everyone's got a say.
I didn't go into politics to be talking about text messages sent from people who are supposed to be friends, bitching about one another.
I think he is stirring the pot. I don't know how he would possibly know who leaked those text messages. You know, I understand that people find these things salacious, but...
Yeah, all of this over text messages. Well, one thing is certain, though. It has starved the government of oxygen and so close to a federal election. Like it or not, though, leaked text messages can be big stories depending on who it involves. It cuts through and shows our politicians, who are supposed to be held up to the highest of standards, are fallible, just like us. And as we've seen this week, it calls into question a leader's character. But I ask you, does it really? Do punters actually care? Seems reasonable and timely question given we are just weeks away from the government heading into caretaker mode. Other than a raised eyebrow or two, some cheeky banter online, when it comes to casting that vote at the booth, does the question of character move the needle? Scott Morrison's character has been in the headlines for months now. He's been called a liar by, it seems, anyone from his own number 2 to a former Prime Minister. Even the French President got in on the act. But aren't all politicians liars at one stage or another? Many would think so. A few more varied points on leaks and questions of character here. Remember when Donald Trump joked to Billy Bush that when you're a star, you can do anything. You can grab him by the so-and-so. It was an old tape that resurfaced a month before Americans went to the polls in 2016. Made no difference. Trump demolished his female opponent, Hillary Clinton. And what about Justin Trudeau in Canada? Old photographs of him in blackface emerged before the election last September. Trudeau still won. So, this is why I'm sceptical about the noise surrounding leaked texts. Good stories, but I'm not just sold on whether that, on its own, will damage Morrison's chances. Other problems, though, may do that. But it is a reminder, folks, text messages, private or not, are always on the record. Please support this channel by liking, sharing and subscribing. See you next week.